Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. Well, this story is actually an op-ed from the New York Post. I don't think I've done an op-ed before, so I'm going to try to navigate my way through it. This was written by a guy named Todd Bensman. You know, I'm going to put the link in the description for the credit. But it's to you New Yorkers. Do y'all still plan on voting for Joe Biden in this next election and Eric Adams and any other Democrat who just loves to see these illegal migrants come in and take your taxpayers' money? I want to know, what do you want to do with your tax dollars? What do you think should be done with it? And if anything you feel needs to be done with it and is not being done with it, then by God, you need to vote the people out who are screwing and wasting your tax dollars. And here's another example. Like I said, from the New York Post, it reads, Joe Biden's secret flights of 33,000 migrants to New York City passed the buck to city taxpayers. Like I said, this is from Mr. Todd Bensman. I want to thank him for doing his research, because now all I got to do is just go through his article. So here we go. Mayor Eric Adams keeps blaming Texas Governor Greg Abbott as the culprit responsible for the city's migrant crisis, which has hoovered up millions in taxpayer resources. In the latest broadside, Adams dared Abbott to spend a night in a New York City migrant shelter, while the no thanks Abbott fired back at Adams' sanctuary city policies were aiding and abetting the border disaster. Now, if you recall, last week, Greg Abbott went to New York for some kind of fundraiser. And he said that he didn't start busing migrants to New York until Eric Adams opened his mouth and started talking about Greg Abbott busing migrants. And then he hollered that, you know, they were a sanctuary city. So he was like, oh, well, I'm going to get the blame. I'm going to get the credit. And that's when he started busing them to New York. He said he was busing them to D.C. first and Martha's Vineyard first. If I recall, that's exactly what happened. But then Eric Adams and these other sanctuary cities started talking bad about him. So he's like, okay, well, shoot, let me send them to y'all. Y'all want to blame me for something? Then I'm going to go ahead and do it. You know how folks say, man, if you're going to blame me for cheating, I'm going to go ahead and do it. You're going to blame me for doing this, that, and the third, and I might well go and do it then, right? Well, he said, well, hey, if you're going to blame me for busing migrants, and I ain't even sending to your city, you gonna stick your nose in my business? I'm gonna make you part of my business. I'm gonna give you a reason to talk about me. And that's what he did. So now Eric Adams is upset, blaming Greg Abbott for what's going on in New York. But this article, with the research they've done, is gonna show that Eric Adams is a hypocrite all the way around. It says some 37,000 of New York's estimated 150,000 migrants, or 25%, were bused from Texas. That's it, right? But there's another number comparable to that Adams should blame on another politician, Joe Biden. A new report from Todd Bensman and his organization, the Center for Immigration Studies, finds that the Department of Homeland Security secretly has okayed the flights of some 33,000 illegal immigrants directly to the New York region from the foreign airports. That's 22% of the city migrant influx. So Eric Adams, how you gonna blame one, not blame the other? You know, you can't blame the Republican and not blame the Democrat, man. You sound kind of ignorant up there, kind of like hypocritical. One of Biden's flying immigrants was a Haitian man, Corey Alvarez, who was recently accused of, SAN development, well, actually, you know, doing the whole act. Developmentally disabled teen girl. The administration reportedly authorized him to fly directly from Haiti into JFK International Airport as part of the immigrant flights program. See, the problem is men. When you give, I mean, hell, even the scriptures say that you got to work for, you know, so you got to work. As a man, you're just supposed to work. You know, you got to work for what you want, for what you need. You know what I'm saying? Man should be out there using his hands, and labor, provide for his family. That's what he's supposed to do. But when you give people things, give them money, give them flights, give them clothes, give them food, give them shelter, what's it gonna do? He ain't got nothing better to do. The idle mind is the devil's workshop. Biden is, of course, far more responsible than Abbott for New York's troubles because he's doing nothing to enforce border laws in the first place, thus flooding Texas and other southern states with unsustainable numbers of illegal immigrants. Yet Adams gives Biden a total pass on the flights, which Biden could shut down with a phone call, preferring to continue pretending that the Republican Abbott is the cause of Gotham's problems. What did he say the other day when he went down and was talking, trying to get votes? He said that, it's Trump's fault how the crisis is going, and that he just might have to do an executive order to slow down the migrant invasion. What you mean you might have to? Here's what I'm gonna say about this election that I hope a lot of people really understand. Let's just we're gonna break it bare bones, as they say. Here's a problem with the Democrats right now. You have issues going on currently while you guys are in office. Migrant crisis, invasion. You actually got some people that y'all catching that's part of like terrorist groups and who say they planned on doing things on this land. You have homelessness in America. And yet you don't have no money for them, but you have money for these migrants. You are sending money, billions upon billions of dollars to Ukraine and Israel for their conflicts that they're having over there. But you have all kind of conflicts at home that we're talking about, whether it's homelessness, whether it's the education system, whether it's systemic racism. Yes, there is such thing as systemic racism. I've done videos on that recently. Go back and watch. Things of that nature. Policing needs to be revamped and redone and reorganized and retrained. You got all these issues at home, and the scriptures tell you take care of home first before you go to your neighbor's house or what have you. You got all these issues with the citizens. You lying to the citizens, feeding us, or trying to use some fear tactics on Black Americans about racist Republicans when your president, we know, has been promoted by known racists in the South. Called a Dixiecrat for a reason. Straight up out of Delaware. No, he's done racist things to hurt Black Americans. You got all these issues going on while you are in office, but yet you're talking about Trump, who hasn't been in office in 3.5 years. You're talking about Trump and how it's his fault that everything is going the way it is, and y'all are trying to fix things. You talk about student loan debt, which again, hey, I took the debt on, I'll take it. So I would love for the interest rate to be a little bit lower, if not wiped out, but hey, it is what it is. I did what I did. There's no ignorance. They'll say ignorance is no excuse for the law. That's what they say. So sign a contract, no matter how old you are, based on what the government says. If you're grown, sign a piece of paper, you got to live up to it. Okay, I get it. But you got all these issues facing your citizens, and you're treating them like crap, and you're blaming somebody who ain't even been in office for years on why it's not fixed, when you yourself said that you can do an executive order to stop these migrants from coming in. Make it make sense of why somebody should vote you in. These are things when you get into office, you could have eradicated and fixed and corrected immediately. And everybody would have reparations. Everybody would have been like, hey, I'm voting for them people again because that dude came in and he fixed problems. He made sure America was great, made sure the citizens was okay. And then he went over there and helped other people with his humanitarian efforts, but he took care of home first. I think I'm gonna vote for him again in November. But no, I didn't vote for you the first time, just so y'all understand. But no. You want to say, well, vote me in because all this stuff is not my fault and I'm trying to fix it. Heck no, I don't want to see you try no more. Republican Democrats been trying for freaking 50, 60 years for Black Americans. You ain't done crap. We sick of the trying. Them old people, they ain't gonna be voting for too much longer. You can say in these mail-in ballot, people know that's a bunch of crap. Hey, the older people gonna go away. I mean, they're gonna pass away soon. You ain't gonna have too many more years or too many more voters that's just gonna vote because our ancestors died to vote and Republicans are racist. Gen X and below, we see that everybody is racist. Everybody, that none of these politicians are for the people. They are for themselves. Everything's about money. That's just what it is. So again, you have to miss me with this. Vote us in and we're going to continue to try to fix. Ain't no trying. If you still trying and you in power, shoot, you can't help me. What the heck am I supposed to do? I got to do it for myself. I'm like Thanos, put the glove on and say, fine, I'll do it myself. Because y'all seem to be in power, but you act powerless. Do what you was voted in to do. Take care of the American people, the citizens first. And then we'll talk about November. But if you can't do it before November, shoot, you ain't going to do it after November. Remember you told Ice Cube that you was going to talk to him about his plan for Black America? Once you got to get in first. And he talked to Trump and he wanted to talk to y'all, but y'all refused to talk to him and then y'all still ain't talked to him. All you did is talk about him and degrade him. So whatever, man, I don't want to hear it, but let's continue. Let me hurry up and get through this. It says DHS reports that it has approved the flights of more than 386,000 migrants directly from foreign airports into the U.S. since launching the program without congressional authorization in January 2023. Amazing. The flights were intended mainly for Cuban, Haitians, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelans, but since expanded to 5 other nationalities. It is alternatively referred to as the CHNV program or the Advanced Travel Authorization Program. Under it, U.S.-based sponsors apply for air travel permission on behalf of aspiring illegal border crossers. I like the word aspiring crossers in other countries who provide information via online program and mobile cell phone app called CBP1. So basically, that's why I was wondering, like before, like as you read this stuff and you get more knowledge, you hear things like say sponsor. You got people who come here to work, but you got to be sponsored. Well, it's like, well, hell, how in the heck can you get sponsored? So it has to be corporations who saying, hey, we got all these crops that need to be picked and harvested. We don't have enough workers to pick it because we really ain't got a lot of money to pay them. We can only pay them a little bit. So we need some, in America, no, they can't live off this wages. So we need some migrants to come in. They'll do it because they're only making pennies a week, dollars per week where they're at. So let's bring them here and let's get them to work. And you're like, okay, that's how you get sponsored. But you may have criminals. You may not have criminals. But you got people you know nothing about that you vet over a freaking app. Clear across the country, off on the other side of the world. And say they can come in here and work. Make it make sense. Why not take a chance on people who have been incarcerated? Because let's be honest. The people that are incarcerated here, they work for you anyway. They make your products. They manufacture stuff for you for pennies for pennies, if that. Because some states don't pay any inmates money to work. They make all this stuff for you, wrap them up, put them on pallets, wrap them up, ship them out, and we buy them. And so they working for you and they make good enough products. So why in the heck when they get out, they can't do the same for you? Because you bringing people over from other countries, other parts of the world to do it. Explain that to me. Once Biden's U.S. Customs and Border Protection approves their applications, the aspiring illegal border crossers arrange for their own flights by commercial air into a government-approved U.S. international airport, and U.S. Customs inspectors process them into the country. A separate twin program has brought some 420,000 more from 100 countries at 8 land ports over the past year. Man, this is this is a lot of information. This stuff, like I say, mainstream ain't telling you. I like this. Both programs are predicated on a legally challenged mass use of an authority in the Immigration and Nationality Act that allows a president to grant temporary humanitarian parole into the country of immigrants in emergency situations on a case-by-case basis. The only two countries that I know of right now, well, besides Ukraine, because that was main fact. That's one of the main factor things, I think. And the folks in Gaza. The only two countries I know is Venezuela, which was created by the United States with their sanctions, on their oil sanctions, and the Haiti, which is going through a lot of issues. Those are two countries right now who you would consider being in emergency situations in their country, and they should be able to, a humanitarian parole into the country. Other than that, it's just bullcorn. People go through, and you just got to go through it where you live. But this administration has applied this highly restricted case-by-case parole authority to far greater numbers of foreigners than any other before, more than a combined 800,000 by both land and airport parole, to reduce the optics of thousands illegally crossing the land border. So it's like a bait and switch, it's like that. What do they call it? When this P. Diddy stuff, when things in the entertainment industry happen, and people say, man, hey, they're trying to distract you, right? So basically what this guy is saying, that Biden is distracting you with migrants coming through the border and the fight he's having with Trump, this imaginary fight he's having with Trump and Greg Abbott. All the while, while you looking down on land, he's flying them above your head. So think about when you see airplanes flying in the air now, you be like, are those U.S. citizens, or could those quite possibly be hundreds of migrants being flown in illegally? Well, illegal, yeah. Well, I guess you call illegal migrants, flown in illegally to come and work in this country. While we sit here talking about these ones that's on the ground. The administration has not coordinated this effort with Adams or other big city mayors, nor with taxpayers who have to shoulder the cost of hundreds of thousands of people just showing up. Biden has hid where the illegal immigrants are being flown and in what numbers. The administration was so determined to keep the information from the public that it denied a 2023 Center for Immigration Studies Freedom of Information Act request for it. Interesting. In fact, the administration is so bent on obfuscating. I can't say that. That look like I can say it, but when you try to say it, it's hard. Obfuscating the basic program details that its monthly border statistics report presents this situation as a strange, undefined orphan, amorphously titling it as only CHNB program and not once mentioning potentially interest flagging immigrant flights or air travel or airports. By using available public record for the April 1st report. What's the guy name again? Hold on. Come on. Todd Bentzman was able to narrow down the regions receiving these flights, showing that Republican Governor Ron DeSantis' Florida is by far the biggest initial landing zone in the country. Where they got all that farmland, all that, but they got sugar and oranges and stuff like that, and then tropical fruits in the country, with 326,000 through February 1st showing up to that state's many international airports, and the 30,000 flights into the New York area airports. Is a flight of the people. Maybe, I don't think it's there. That's a lot of dang flights. It is secret because they're not telling anybody. They don't tell us anytime somebody comes in, DeSantis says in the April 4th press conference. They don't give us any information on it. They are not coordinating with state governments at all. If they throw 6 people on a commercial flight coming from a foreign country, there's no acknowledgement at all to state or local authorities. That's just a fact. He said DeSantis has a plausible theory about the huge volume of flights landing in Florida, that some, perhaps significant percentage of those initially landing there are processed through U.S. Customs to domestic flights and continue onward to cities like New York. If what the governor believes is true, that means the number reaching Gotham is much higher than 33,000. How much is it really? Mayor Adams doesn't want to know. If he did, he could not pressure on the administration to stop the flights, but he won't. He'll just keep trying to blame Republicans when the danger is coming from inside the house. It says Ty Bensman is a senior national security fellow at the Center for Immigration Studies. That's a great article. Great article. And I believe everything he said, because you can't trust anybody. And again, it's not in mainstream media. And hopefully this article will get out to more people so y'all can understand what's really going on. It's time to get these Democrats out of office. Period. I was thinking I was going to either vote Republican or the couch, with me leaning more toward the couch, but now it seems like I have sat up on the couch and I'm putting my koyos on, or my hokas on, and I'm leaning forward because this here is ridiculous. Tired of talking, tired of complaining. Now it's time to do something about it. Mayor Eric Adams, you just, every time you open your mouth, you just sound ignorant. You don't sound intelligent. You New York City, I don't know what y'all gonna do. What y'all gonna do? You gonna get him out of here or what? Regardless if you like Trump, don't like Trump, whatever, but you know who got to go. You know who got to go. What to say? What does Gotham City's finest Batman told Ra's al Ghul? I don't have to. So I don't have to kill you, but I don't have to save you either. And then he just left. So you know who got to go. You got to do what's best. You got to do what's best, which means you ain't got to vote. If you don't want to vote for Trump, fine, but just don't vote for them Democrats. Let them fend on their own. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below. Share them with the world. Let's dialogue. Let's have a conversation. Hey, support the channel. 4 ways you can support the channel non-monetarily. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Do all 4. Take you but a couple minutes out your day. If you do want to support monetarily, you can always give a super chat, super thanks, or you can go down to the description box. There are other ways you can support the channel. However you do it, monetarily, non-monetarily, I thank you. I appreciate you for everything, because views, likes, helps boost the channel and the videos in the algorithm. Oh, if you got any ideas, any story ideas, anything you want to talk about, anything you want to discuss, anything you want to send me, send it to soulinthesoil@gmail.com. That's soulinthesoil@gmail.com. And with that being said, I'll leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.